this is Carly.
And hello, this is Andrew.
And we are from the Word Studios. Today we'll have reports from drones to an interview on Casey Daron about trumpets.
Now let's fly on over to McKenna reporting about drones.
Hello, I'm McKenna. I will be talking about drones. There are many drones today, such as the Ionic Stratus, the DB Power Hawkeye, the E-Hang, and many more. One of the best drones for beginners is the UDI UB1BA. If you want a good drone for footage and pictures, look into the DJI Phantom and Standard. If you think you're ready for a pro drone, you'll want the 3D Robotees IRS Plus. But if you want to fly, the E-Hang is it. It is as big as a small car. It can hold 2 people. The E-Hang takes 2 hours to charge in fast mode. It can hold 1 person up for 23 minutes with 1 charge. It weighs 440 pounds and holds 246. If you need to store a backpack or camera, the E-Hang has a trunk. If you go on the sites Gizmag and Petapixel, there is much more to be found about the E-Hang drone. Now back to you in the studio.
I didn't know that in some states and countries that most drones are illegal, and there were some drones that had cameras. Better keep an eye on the sky.
Let's go on over to Andrew reporting about Elvis Presley when he was a child.
Hello, I'm Andrew, and I'm here to talk about Elvis Presley as a child. Elvis was a famous musician in the 1900s, as well as a famous actor. In fact, the thing behind me is the lyrics for Hound Dog, one of his many songs. Here it is.
Hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time.
However, he had some tough times growing up. He had a twin brother, that is, if you didn't count the fact that he was stillborn. This was bad for Elvis, as he, at some points in his life, would want a brother to help him. His dad, at one point, went to jail for 8 months for faking a check because they had so little money. Due to the fact that he was so close to his mother, he was considered a mama's boy when he was in school. When he first got a guitar, he brought it to school every day. People called him a hillbilly for this. Elvis was often bullied. One time, other kids cut the strings off his guitar when he wasn't looking. When he first played for someone, he wouldn't start until all the lights were off because he was so shy. But still, everyone loved his music and encouraged him to play. This is how he became more and more popular, which is also why, as a teenager, he had several girlfriends. However, this is only the tip of the iceberg, but that's for another day. Back to you.
I didn't know that Elvis Presley had to play with the lights off to be able to play in front of people.
Now let's go on over to Ben with his report about video games.
Thank you, Andrew. Hi, I'm Ben, and I'm going to tell you about how video games are made. In a video game, you need a great story, color, adventure, and well-thought-out characters. Video games have a lot of ways to view them, like platform games have a side view of the character, and a top-down view has a bird's-eye view of the character. The artist will add drawings to storyboards like character descriptions and arrows to show where the character will move. Sound effects are recorded in a sound studio. When the sound is recorded on a digital audio tape, they're computerized by a synthesizer. A synthesizer is a computer that can transfer sound into data. When you're programming, the first step is to draw a flowchart. Then you have to choose the languages. The game can take up to 7 months to produce. The testing phase helps discover programming problems. The programmers will run the game to try to find problems on their own. When all the programming is done, the game will be transferred to a disk. That disk will be used to make thousands of copies for kids and parents to buy. Back to you in the studio, Carly.
Wow, I didn't know that it took that long to program a video game.
We will now have Carly telling us information about solar-powered cars.
Hello, this is Carly reporting about solar-powered cars. Have you ever wondered if there was such a thing as a solar-powered car? Here's some information about solar-powered cars and how they work. People have been building solar-powered cars for many years. When you first buy a solar-powered car, you have to pay a lot of money. After you buy the car, you don't have to pay for gas because the car runs on solar energy. Solar energy is energy from the sun. Unlike some other cars, solar-powered cars do not harm the environment. Solar cars can accomplish this through photovoltaic cells, which are called PVCs. PVCs are the components in solar paneling that convert the sun's energy into electricity. They are made up of semiconductors that absorb the light. The sunlight's energy then frees electrons in the semiconductors. You can read more about this at for more details about solar energy, read How Solar Cells Work online. Some people wonder if you can drive a solar power car at night. The answer to the question is yes. In the day, when you are not driving in the car, the sun is charging the battery in the car, so you are able to drive at night. You can get a solar power car at some Ford dealership. And that ends my research on solar power cars. And now back to you in the studio.
I didn't know that solar-powered cars could drive at night.
Up next, we'll have Nicole telling us some information about the trumpet.
Now to you, Nicole.
Hi, my name is Nicole, and I decided to interview Casey Daron because I think it is cool that he plays the trumpet, and I also think that he is really good. And I am very interested in music because it sounds good and I listen to it all the time. I learned that the trumpet is one of the hardest instruments to play and it takes a while to learn how to play the trumpet. Back to you, Carly.
Here's Victoria also researching about trumpets.
Hi, my name is Victoria and I wanted to interview Casey Daron because I love listening to trumpet and I have a cousin that plays it too. I have found out that the trumpet can play 45 notes from low A to high G. And the trumpet is 35,000 years old. Back to you, Andrew.
I also play the saxophone, which is kind of like the trumpet, so I know that it takes a long time to learn the trumpet, but I didn't know that it has about 45 notes.
Right after this commercial, we'll have Nicole and Victoria doing an interview on Casey Daron.
Hi, I'm Marshall.
Hi, I'm Kevin.
Hi, I'm Andrew.
Hi, I'm Robbie.
And this is the side satchel. It helps you carry other materials that you need to get to other places.
So we took a hole puncher and we punched 2 holes to each side. We put a string through it and then we attached it to the handlebar.
The reason the side satchel is better than a backpack is because a backpack makes you carry too much weight and you'll fall over. This puts the weight on your sides.
Another reason is if there's too much weight on your back, when you get your crutches off, you might have to have surgery on your back or something.
Now to you, Victoria and Nicole.
Why did you choose to play the trumpet?
Originally I wanted to play the drums, but the drum line was full, and then I thought the trumpet looked and sounded cool, so I wanted to play trumpet for that reason.
When did you start playing?
I started playing in 5th grade.
What was the first song you learned?
I don't know the exact first song, but I bought a Muppet songbook in 5th grade, and I learned a couple songs like The Rainbow Connection and Mana Mana.
Is the trumpet fun to play, or if so, why?
It's fun if you like to play, if you're playing the music that you like to listen to. In symphonic band, I'm in symphonic band, and we play a lot of like movie score music, and I really like doing that because it's a lot of fun to play. But if you're playing songs you don't really like to listen to, it can be a little boring. Like some classical music can get kind of boring.
If you make a mistake during a performance, how would you handle it?
You just ignore it and keep playing.
What advice would you give for beginners?
Keep practicing, always practice, and listen to your instructor because they can help you. They know what they're talking about.
How long do you practice for?
I have 2 band periods every day, and I usually practice for about 2 hours each day.
Do you play any other instruments? And if so, what are they?
I play the guitar as well.
Did you learn from musicians, and if so, who are some of them?
With guitar, my favorite band is Rush, and I like to try to sound a little bit like the guitarist from Rush. And then when playing trumpet, there's another band I like to listen to called the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, and they have horns and saxophones and everything. So I like to listen to them, and I like to play some of their music on my trumpet.
Do you play in a band? And if so, how many people are in your band?
I'm in the marching band, and I play trumpet in that, and there's about 200 kids in there. But I also have my own small rock band. It's kind of large for a rock band. We have 9 members in it, and I play guitar and I sing.
What was the first instrument you learned how to play?
Well, 4th grade was the recorder, but I don't know if I'd call that a real instrument. Trumpet's the first one in 5th grade.
Back to you, Carly and Andrew.
I learned a lot from that interview. And that concludes our report at the Word Studios.
I'm Sarah. And I'm Kelly. And we are WPCR. And today we'll be learning about STEM.
STEM means science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and creative arts.
We have 4 interesting reports
on comparing new phones and old phones, iPhones, flying cars, and a robotic hotel. First up is Sarah with a wonderful report about comparing new phones and old phones.
Thank you, Kelly. Hi, I'm Sarah, and today I'm going to be comparing old cell phones to iPhones. You should know that if you drop an iPhone, that the screen may crack or break. But if you have a flip phone or an old phone, it may have no scratches at all. The first mobile phone call was made on April 3, 1973, by Martin Cooper, a former Motorola inventor who is known as the father of the cell phone. Today you would say hello or hi, but back then they would say ahoy to the caller. Today you can get all the games you want on your phone, but if you have a flip phone, the only game you could get was a snake game. The game could keep a person entertained for hours. Today you get an iPhone for a lot of money, but if you got an old phone, the smaller the phone, the more it costs. With an old cell phone, you only need to charge it once or twice a week, but with an iPhone, it only lasts for about 6 hours. Over 250 million Nokia 11,000 devices were sold, making it the best-selling electrical gadget in history. And that's all for today. Thank you for listening, and back to you in the studio.
That's so cool that the first phone call was made on April 3rd, 1973.
Yeah, I thought it was cool too. And now we have Kelly, has a great report on iPhones.
Thank you, Sarah. Hi, I'm Kelly, and I'm going to tell you about iPhones. First, an iPhone is a phone displayed and manufactured by Samsung, and it's from the company Apple. Steve Jobs was the man who presented the iPhones on stage in front of a lot of people. The iPhone hit shelves in 2007 and were a big deal. By the time it was 2012, iPhones already had over 30 million users. In 2014, Apple sold more than 169 million phones around the world. Many people around the world have an iPhone because Apple has over 80,000 employees around the world. Sarah talked about old cell phones in her report, and you can see how far they have come. Way back in 1983, the first iPhone was invented, but it's nothing compared to what we have today because there are newer and better iPhones coming to shelves all over. Did you know that only 22% of iPhone users believe that texting is easier than calling? I agree that it may be difficult to get a hold of someone by calling, but you can always text someone because they don't have to answer right away. But then again, when you are in the car, you can't text, but you can call if you have Bluetooth. I thought this was interesting. Even though the iPhone came out way before the iPad, Apple was researching to make a tablet way before the iPhone even came out. Thank you for listening to my report on iPhones. Hope you enjoyed. Back to the studio.
I can't believe iPhones were in stores in 2007.
Me neither, not till I found it while I was researching.
Now we're going to have a Quick commercial break.
On the Library to Go.
We are the inventors of the Library to Go. The inventors are
Manny Sousa,
Riley Wolk.
and Justin Raza.
The Library to Go is mainly for books, and the side containers are for your snack or pencils. And we were going to do for lunch trays, but it wouldn't fit, so we had to tweak it into making it for mostly just books and maybe a lunch box. And we also needed to put a few more rubber bands and strings to make it more stable.
Mrs. Schilling, would you buy one of these?
I absolutely would. It's a great thing to have when you need hands-free.
Now we have Robbie with an interesting report on the robotic hotel.
Hi, this is Robbie, and I'm going to tell you about the robot hotel in Japan. There is facial recognition at the check-in when a guest gets to the hotel. Then the guest just has to type his or her information into a touch panel. There is also a porter robot at the hotel where you type in your room number and then the robot delivers your luggage to your room. There are no light switches in the hotel rooms. To turn the lights on or off, you have to talk to Thule, a small robot that controls the lighting. It can also tell the time and the weather forecast. Guests can put luggage through a window which lands into a box. Then a arm, usually seen in factories, is used to help guests store items in a stack in the hotel's cloakroom. Surprisingly, a night's stay at the hotel, which is part of the Hewis 10 Bosch amusement park, starts at 9,000 yen, 46 euros, or $73, which is considered a bargain in Japan. The park and hotel founder, Hideo Sadawa, has said having robot staff at the hotel is no gimmick. He said he wanted to show how establishments could improve efficiency and lower labor costs. Right back to you at the studio.
I had no idea that a night stay at the robotic hotel was $73.
Me too.
Now we have Manny with a fantastic report on flying cars.
And now we go into the world of flying cars.
Thank you, Kelly and Sarah. Hello, my name is Manny, and I'm going to talk about the cars from Back to the Future, flying cars. I know many people want flying cars to be real instead of a dream. Well, the Slovakian companies Aeromobile and the US's Terrafugia have been working on a flying car for a couple of years now. In fact, Aeromobile has their third prototype up and running right now. When Aeromobile's car gets released, it will have a single propeller in the back and 2 collapsible wings. Don't worry if you get a flying car and it malfunctions or stalls. You have a parachute to save you. They also don't have a price mark for the car, but I'm sure it will be a lot. Terrafugia, another company trying to make a flying car, has made a car that they call the TFX. The car is estimated to be tested or sold to wealthy humans in 8 to 12 years. Terrafugia has a price marked at a whopping $455,000. There has been no tests for the TFX as of yet. Sorry everybody with $455,000. Back to you in the studio.
I didn't know that it will take 8 to 12 years to get a flying car here.
Wow, Aeromobile's on their third prototype.
So that's all for today.
I hope you enjoyed our reports.
And
we are WPCR, and have a great day.
Welcome to WKMA. Hi, my name is Mary.
Hi, my name is Kara. Today we're going to talk about STEAM arts.
This stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Math. We are going to start with Kevin with his interview.
Thank you, Mary and Kira. Hi, I'm Kevin, and today I will be interviewing my sister, who is on the Londonderry High School's First Robotics team. First Robotics is a competition where various high school robotics teams makes a robot to beat other robots in a game like climbing, frisbee throwing, and even playing volleyball. Robotics is the branch of mechanical, electrical, electronic engineering, and computer science that deals with the design, construction, operation, and application of robots and computers for their controls and informational processing. The person who programs or makes the controls of the robot is called a programmer. I hope you enjoy this interview with my sister, Kelly. What inspired you to join robotics?
I wanted to join clubs and I wanted to make friends, and it seemed like the most interesting club of all the ones we had at school, so I thought I would try it, and I ended up loving it.
Okay. Very interesting. What is your favorite thing about robotics?
Probably all the friends that I've made, because everybody there is really awesome. They're kind of like a second family to me.
Okay. What don't you like about robotics?
The only thing is this year the team is like really, really big. Like when I started, there was only 8 of us, but now there's 65. So it's a little bit more difficult to be friends with everybody just because there's so many people.
Yeah, that is a problem. What is the game this year for First Robotics?
So this year is called Stronghold, so it has a medieval theme. So there's defenses on the field. There's like 5 of them, and they just like change out. So there's like a drawbridge kind, and there's like a moat, and then there's like rocks you have to go over. They switch out, and then you have to get over the other team's defenses to get points. And then they have a castle on their side, and you have to shoot balls into their castle, and then you can capture it. That's the general idea of it.
It's really cool. What part of the robot do you work on?
I work more on organizing the team than on the physical robot, because there's like a lot of parts to it. There's building the robot, there's building the parts, putting the robot together, there's electrical parts, there's the computer part, but I kind of work on keeping everything all together, like all of the people together and stuff.
Okay. How many, you sort of already answered how many people are on the team. What class in school is most helpful for improving the team?
I would say just any class where you have to do problem solving, so like math classes, programming classes, engineering and science, those kind of things, because you use some of the stuff you learn in the class, but it's all about figuring it out yourself.
Okay. What was your favorite game in First?
I think my favorite game was called Aerial Assist, and we did that when I was in 10th grade, and that one was kind of like, it was a mix of like volleyball and it was mostly volleyball, and it was just there was like a big bar in the middle of the field, and you had to shoot the ball over it to get points, and you got a lot more points if you worked as a team, like because there's 3 robots on each team, and you have to get more points than the other one. So I think that was probably my favorite.
Was that the one with the yoga balls?
Yeah, that was the one. The ball was
Okay.
like, that was the one that broke my finger. You remember that one?
Yeah, that was my favorite too.
Oh, thanks.
What was your least favorite game?
My least favorite game was last year's game. It was called Recycle Rush. There was no offense part, or like you didn't have any interaction with the other alliance. Like usually you're fighting against each other to get more points, but in this one you just stacked a bunch of bins together and you couldn't even go on the other side of the field, so I didn't like it as much. There wasn't as much strategy.
Yeah, that's also my least favorite.
Oh, we're on the same page.
Do you think you will want a job as a programmer?
Well, yeah, I'm not doing programming on the team, but that's definitely what I'm going to do as my job, because I like it.
Okay. So, back to you, Mary and Kira.
Thanks, Kevin, for the interview.
I never knew that robotics can be so cool.
Same with me. Next, Ava will be speaking about rats.
Thank you, Kate Mary. Hi, my name is Ava, and I will be talking about rats. Brown rats are helpful in laboratories for research, but did you know that they are amazing pets? Rats are cuddly, friendly, cute, and intelligent pets. It's easy to take care of them. You probably need a wide cage with solid floors, or you might want an aquarium for your pet or pet rats. 2 rats would be better than 1, so they aren't lonely. Adult rats would prefer a cage designed for a ferret or a guinea pig. Rats live to about 2 to 3 years. All rats need fresh water and they need a sipper bottle. They need a chew toy and milk bones to gnaw on. It helps wear their teeth down. To feed your rat, you need leftover meat, cooked or raw vegetables, and fresh fruit. Did you know that rats eat meals, breakfast, cereal, spoonfuls of hummus, and yogurt, and bits of cheese?
Very interesting, Ava.
Let's kick us on to Aiden doing his interview with Justin on soccer.
Thank you, Mary. This is Aiden Doyle. I will be interviewing Justin about soccer. Did you know that soccer balls are between 14 and 16 ounces? And that in the 1990s, soccer was the fastest growing sport in the USA? Here to tell us more about soccer is my friend, soccer player Justin. How long have you been playing soccer?
7 years.
Why do you like soccer?
Because it's not hard to learn.
What position do you play?
Midfield.
Most goals you've gotten in a game?
3.
What team do you play for?
Londonderry United.
What is your favorite soccer player and how does he inspire you?
Lionel Messi, because he can play soccer with anyone because he loves it so much.
What do you think about the new rule about not heading it till you're 10?
I probably wouldn't like that because I like to head the ball.
What do you do when you make a mistake in the middle of a game?
I just get over and keep playing.
Thank you, Justin. Back to you.
Did you know that my favorite sport is soccer, Kira?
That's pretty cool, Mary. And I think it's also pretty cool what you found about Mars. Can you tell us more?
Sure. Thanks, Kira. Do you ever wonder why people can't go to Mars yet? I've been researching about it, and I found some information to tell you about Mars and why people can't go to the red planet yet. Did you know that Mars and Earth could be alike? Mars is the 4th planet from the Sun, and Earth is 3rd. In my opinion, the red planet and Earth do look alike in some way, but Mars doesn't have green land and blue oceans like Earth do. Mars is sort of a red tint color. The red planet also has north and south polar ice caps like we do. Scientists think that life could have existed there once because polar ice caps are made from frozen water. Did you know that Mars has seasons? Their seasons are longer than Earth's seasons because the red planet is farther from the sun. Without these facts, Mars wouldn't be an interesting planet to study for me. Do you ever wonder why it's difficult to fly to Mars? NASA said that the mission to Mars will probably start in 2030. The planet is about 249 million miles away from Earth. It would take about 150 through 300 days to get there, depending on the speed of launch. NASA estimates that it needs to fire at least 7 of its new SLS rockets to deliver the people, supplies, and spaceships necessary for a Mars mission. Engineering the spaceships will be expensive and challenging for NASA. NASA is hoping to have a space launch system ready by 2017, which would be the largest rocket ever flown. In order to stay alive in space, people need lots of things: food, oxygen, shelter, and perhaps most importantly, fuel. I wonder what will happen if they run out of one of those things. If you would like to learn more, go to www.planetsforkids.org. Thank you. Back to you, Kira.
I never knew that much about Mars, Mary. Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome. Kira's going to talk about the new Titanic.
Thank you, Mary. Hi, my name is Kira. Did you know that people are in the process of building a new Titanic? I'm here to talk about the new Titanic today. Do you remember the old Titanic in the movie Titanic? The old Titanic sank 100 years ago. I'm here to tell you all about the new one. This new ship has no official name yet, but it's coming out in 2017. There are already 2,600 people scheduled to travel on its first voyage. There are only 850 cabins. The worst thing is that there are only 18 lifeboats. That is worse than before. The other one had 20 lifeboats. Thomas Andrews was the shipbuilder for the original Titanic. Australian billionaire Clive Palmer is the man responsible for the new Titanic. The old Titanic took 26 months to build, which is over 2 years. It's going to be taking less time to build. The Titanic would have never sunk if the captain never turned it around to get out of the way of the iceberg. If the old Titanic never sunk, there may have never been a new Titanic. On the old Titanic, there were 2 dogs that got into a lifeboat. Sadly, 9 dogs were on the boat, but only 2 survived. This time, they're going to allow purse dogs on the ship. This is a super tiny dog that fits in your purse. There's going to be a new Titanic movie coming out with the same characters but different actors. And if you need to find more facts, go to www.about.com. That's it for the new Titanic. Back to you, Mary.
I always wanted to learn about that, and now I can. Thanks for the report, Kira.
You're welcome, Mary.
Oh, look! Kevin brought us donuts for breakfast. Let's go straight to commercial. My name is Mary.
Hi, my name is Riley.
Hi, my name is Anthony.
Hi, my name is Ben.
Our product is called the Carrier. So this product helps people without using a backpack. They could just attach things to the crutches, like cups, and it has lids on it so your stuff won't fall out. And if you need to carry something big, we have attached string to here, and we attach it to my lunch box, so you could carry something big. The big lunchbox doesn't bother Riley because it's out of her way, and you can put little things in the cups, and you can put a lot of things in there. You can carry your own personal items, and it will help because you won't have to use your hands.
I like that idea with people with crutches. You can buy them online right now. Wait, did you steal my donut?
No. Let's go.
Wait, what? Okay, keep on.
That's our show for now.
Thank you for watching WKMA, and see you next time.
Hi, I'm Kyle. And this is WLSS. The following are news reports we did related to STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and math. Here is Warren talking about dinosaurs.
Thank you, Anthony. My name is Warren. I will be talking about the first T-Rex fossils. Paleontologist Barnum Brown discovered the first T-Rex fossils in 1902. The first T-Rex fossils he found was at the Hell Creek Formation in Montana, North America. T-Rex fossils have been found in Texas, Utah, and Wyoming. Also in Canada, Alberta, and Saskatchewan. The T-Rex lived in the late Cretaceous period, about 85 to 65 million years ago. Amazing, isn't it? The first T-Rex, the full-grown T-Rex, has the tooth the size of a banana. The T-Rex loved to eat fresh meat. He was a carnivore. He mainly went after the weak and injured. Some of the tools that a paleontologist uses, they have to be very careful so they don't break or damage the fragile fossils. Here are a few examples of the most important tools. The rock pick is always the most useful tool. It is used for digging and splitting rock. The small picks are good for getting small fossils loose from the rock or exposing other fossils. So I read it's nice to have 3 different types of dust brushes: a wide soft brush, a thin soft brush, a stiff or an old toothbrush. There are many more tools and equipment, but let's not get into those. Let's not forget this very important fact. The most spectacular T-Rex discovery as of now, 2016, was made by an amateur paleontologist, Sue Hendrickson, who discovered a near-complete T-Rex skeleton in South Dakota in 1990. The bones were auctioned off to Chicago Field Museum for $8 million. Wow! Oh, I really wish I could see that T-Rex. Now back to you, Anthony and Kyle.
Thanks. I never knew that a paleontologist had to use a rock brush.
Here is Caitlin interviewing Kim Nash.
Thanks, guys. Hi,
I'm Caitlin Doherty, and I'll be interviewing Kim Nash because I am interested in technology. She is a trainer for companies all around the world. Most of these companies work with heating, computer chips, and more. She teaches new employees basic equipment. Sometimes Kim works at Honeywell, Phoenix Controls, and many others. She's really cool. So let's get started. Let's get this started. So, what is your fave part about being a trainer for companies all around the world?
Well, I have to say first and foremost, I really enjoy the travel and I really enjoy meeting new people. So new places and new people has to be the number one perk of my job.
Well, then you'll love the two next questions. What is your favorite place to visit?
Oh my goodness, that's a good question. I have to say so far, my favorite place was Germany. I got to go there in September and it was just beautiful there.
My dad liked Germany too. What type of people do you meet on your travels?
Oh, I meet all kinds of different people, which is what makes it fun. The people that I train are primarily technicians in HVAC and airflow controls. So I just meet a lot of regular people and a lot of guys.
That sounds very interesting. So, is there any danger in your job? If yes, what is it?
Well, that's a really good question because my first answer would have been no. But when I gave it some thought, I realized we work a lot with electricity. We have training boards that we have to wire and set up and work with different equipment. So we have to be really careful to make sure the electricity is turned off if we're going to do some work on it. So that's one danger. And then we have a manufacturing floor at Phoenix Controls. And so we're required when we walk through that area to wear safety glasses because there's a lot of different components and a lot of people working on some really technical stuff. So we got a lot of stuff in the environment we have to watch out for.
Is there any chemicals there?
We do have hazardous chemical training, safety training, but I've never encountered any hazardous chemicals because I don't work in those areas of the building.
Huh. So, next question. How do you organize your workspace?
I love this question because it was a tough one to answer. I thought about it because I knew about it ahead of time. I don't organize a traditional workspace because I have a workspace that's spread out everywhere. So I have a training room that I have to work in, I have my office, and I spend a lot of time traveling. So I'm on the plane or I'm driving to work. I commute an hour each way. So I make use of a lot of mobility devices. So I have my iPhone and I have my laptop. And then I do have my old-fashioned way of doing things, and I have a big, giant whiteboard in my office. And I keep a lot of information, all my tasks and all of my goals and technical information on that whiteboard.
That sounds very interesting. What is the least favorite part of your job? Why?
Yeah, well, I'd have to say the least favorite part of my job is all the paperwork that I have to fill out. And I don't mean just papers like you've got there, but a lot of electronic paperwork. I have to keep track of my goals, and I have to keep track of equipment and stuff like that. To me, that's very detail-oriented. It can be very boring. So that's the least favorite part of my job.
My least favorite part of school is probably the paperwork.
There you go.
What was your favorite subject in school? Does it help you now with your job?
That's a very good question, Caitlin. Believe it or not, my favorite subject in school, there were two of them, English and writing. So you might wonder, how did I wind up in science and technology? But I have to say that I think if you can master those two topics, you can probably master just about any other subject that you come across that you're interested in.
I like English too, but grammar can get a little complicated.
I agree.
What was your least favorite subject? Why?
Oh boy. My least favorite subject was math because I really struggled with numbers.
Me too, but some types of math, like fractions, are sort of easy to me, and I think the Lord, we're working with them now.
Yeah. Well, you're pretty smart. I think you'll be fine.
So, what advice do you have for future girls who want to be engineers someday?
Well, let's see. I would say I came to this field in a very non-traditional way. So I didn't set out to be in engineering or science or technology when I started out. And it was a struggle, and it took me a very long time to get here. So my advice would be to any young lady who's interested in science and technology, make sure that you focus on those subjects in school. Even if you don't like math, try to excel at math and give it your best shot. And just stay on a path and start now. Don't wait.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you, Kim, and goodbye. Back to you, Anthony.
Thank you, Caitlin. That was an interesting interview. Here is a quick commercial break. We made our product called the Spider Web, and it holds stuff if you're in a wheelchair. It holds one binder and like 6 folders and a lot of materials. At first we had just 3 pieces of tape right there, and it didn't work and it just fell down, so we added more and did all this. It solves that when you're in a wheelchair you can carry your stuff around with you.
Here's Kyle talking about Donald Trump.
Thanks, Anthony. I'm Kyle, and I'm going to tell you about Donald Trump. Donald Trump was born June 14th, 1946 in Queens, New York City. He attended the New York Military Academy. Donald was a star athlete and student leader at the academy. He then went to Fordham University and University of Pennsylvania. His parents' names are Fred Trump and Mary Ann Trump. Trump's previous wives are Ivana Trump and Marla Maples. His current wife is Melania Trump. He has 5 kids named Donald Trump Jr., Ivanka Trump, Tiffany Trump, Eric Trump, and Barron Trump. He is a real estate developer who was involved in building projects in Manhattan. Donald Trump's net worth is $4 billion US. Donald has never smoked cigarettes, drank alcohol, or done drugs. His older brother, Fred, was an alcoholic for many years and warned Trump to avoid drinking. Fred ultimately died from his addiction. On June 16, 2015, Donald said that he would be running for president in the 2016 election. Polls show he has a significant lead over his rivals. Back to you, Anthony.
Thanks, Kyle. That was a great report.
And here's Anthony talking about sports drinks.
Thanks, Kyle. Have you ever been playing a game and wanted a nice cold Gatorade or Powerade, or need an energy drink to make sure you don't fall asleep in class? Well, I'd like you to think that over one more time. Here are some quick facts about sports drinks and energy drinks. Did you know that children under 11 years old should not drink energy drinks because they can raise blood pressure and slow down your blood flow? Also, water can hydrate you better and faster than Gatorade and Powerade. Drinking too much of an energy drink can lead to liver failure, seizures, and even death, especially when it comes to children. Another fact is that some energy drinks have 400 to 500 milligrams of caffeine in them, which is the same as 14 cans of Coca-Cola. Nasty, right? I know that some kids really don't like water and are always looking for juice or soda. Well, here's a solution. You can put cold fruit in or a splash of fruit juice. Also, if you truly need a sports drink, you should only use it if you are doing an intense workout for over an hour. Also, after a workout, a great thing to have is low-fat milk, says Dr. Lip Schultz, who works at the University of Miami. Well, that's it for today. I hope you liked it. This is WLSS. Bye.
Thanks, Anthony. I never knew that children under 11 years old should not drink sports drinks. And here's another quick commercial break about the handy holder.
We present to you the handy holder. It can solve the problem of carrying things. You can put in this almost anything.
I'll be testing out the handy holder. First, I'm going to do a base test, which is without the handy holder and holding $3. Thank you. Okay, I still have to support myself. Okay, maybe with my chin? Okay, let's start walking. Okay, that did not work. Let's try with the handy holder. Just go like this over the wires, and your armpit will be supporting the wires. So the handy holder's sort of like a purse for people on crutches.
That's it for today. We hope you liked it. And this is WLSS. Bye.